You can start it anyway, and he can just jump right in.
I'm sorry, man.
Go ahead and start.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Hi, everyone.
Hey! ECP here, still at ICCC. We are live.
We are live.
How's the audience out there? You're alive? Sleep?
One's asleep. One's over there asleep. Hey,
so
man,
you can edit it in some fans
phone.
actually out there, right? You can edit it in some audio. We're going to have a guy join us named Stephen Costantino, one of the actors, many actors that were blessed with a role in Star Wars.
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. We were talking earlier before Stephen comes in here. I was like, I would be blessed if I could have any role.
Yes.
Guy cutting grass on, indoor maybe. And what's going on out there?
Hey, do me a favor, bro.
Yeah.
Turn that monitor.
Turn the monitor that way. Here he comes.
Woo! We got
All right.
a phone.
I don't do that lately.
No, I
Here he is.
100% understand. If I don't have
Yeah,
my
I
phone,
panic. I'm in a
I
panic.
panic because it's like our lifeblood these days now. It's straight up like
Yeah.
Like an arm. I mean, my whole life is on that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right, people out there that are
Welcome,
watching,
welcome,
this is the
welcome.
man,
Hello.
the myth, the legend, Steve Costantino. How you doing, brother?
How you doing, man? Happy
Thank
to
you
be
so
here.
much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, man, we were sitting here talking. You're one of the few actors on planet Earth that get to be blessed to be in the Star Wars universe. How does that feel?
Well, I'm really a musician, and I call it kismet that got lucky.
Got lucky,
Yeah.
and now you're a part of the universe. So
Of course, it's absurd. I'm a toy.
yeah,
That has to be the most insane thing to when you actually get an action figure of yourself.
I know, it's unbelievable. That's what I said. If I get a toy, I'm going to make a tattoo of my label and my guitar.
oh
that's
man,
epic.
Gamorrean sound.
That is epic. So how did you get into
I met Corey D in martial arts class. He was a martial artist, Billy's son. Oh no, through our sensei, he introduced us. Said he plays bass, and when we got together, it was like magic. It still is to this day.
Oh wow.
And we played together. At that time, he lived with his dad, Billy D, and we had a studio. And Billy was very supportive, loved what we were doing. And that April, Billy came into the studio and said, "Corey, would you like to stand in with me?" Corey was very adamant because he's been on sets, a lot of hard work.
Right.
Plus, we're going to Yuma. Well, he's going to Yuma in 120 degrees in April. So
Oh God.
So he said, "Dad, I don't know if I want to leave the studio at this point, you know?" And so Billy says, "Steve, you want to bring the guitar and you continue to write there?" I said, "Okay." And so we wound up going on a set and playing, for the cast and crew at night, and everyone was very supportive. That felt great.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then driving 45 minutes into the Yuma desert to the set was in long days. By the third day, we had dinner with Howard Kazanjian. Billy had invited us to go with him to dinner. And I said to Howard, "Could I work for free? I'm out here anyway. Use me,
Right.
I'm grateful to be here with all the humanities, but at the same time, I hope, I can
Yeah.
help. I'll wrangle the
Go ahead.
Scorpions."
You can-
And so
we
that's what
have the
happened.
phone.
Oh, thank you, my friend. And so the next day he said, "Come in," and they made me the guard, and they made Corey Klaatu, because Corey had been working already, standing in and stunt work, and Billy took a picture of Corey and I with the mask off, and that was put into the archives.
Yeah.
Not to be seen for, 20-something years. And 10 years ago when it came out, because Corey and I never, aspired to do any of this stuff.
Right.
And when it came out, the fans went, in England, they said, "You got killed by Luke? You're in the barge." They put the face behind the mask. I said, "Yeah, would you sign autographs?" I said, "Sure." So he sent me a bunch of things in the mail with a check, and I said, "I like this."
I like money.
And I sent it back. And then Corey saw it and said, "I'm thinking of going out. Would you like to sign with Coolwater at the time, Derek?" Because Billy D was Derek's first client, and he still works with him.
Right.
And we started going out 10 years ago and telling our story.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's amazing.
So tell me a little bit. So you're in this costume. Is it especially in that day? Is it miserable being in that Gamorrean guard costume?
To be honest, it was hot. They kept saying dry heat.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to do the right job, I didn't know about camera angles. And
Right.
So they did these footsteps on the barge. I followed them. But once that head was on, the peripherals were off.
Yeah.
All I had is my eyes.
right.
And I did the scene. And, of course, I probably could use a night like a sauna. I mean,
Yeah.
you lose 20 pounds.
That's what I was going to ask. I was like, did you lose any weight wearing the costume? I would think that
I was
it's-
135 back then. You look at you see my pictures.
Yeah, I mean, I've always heard stories about like even like Simon Pegg, who was in the newer ones.
Yeah.
He was in Uncalled Plot,
Yeah.
and he said before they put air conditioners in the holes now, but they're like back then it was just a fan.
Blow dryer.
Or yeah, blow dryers.
They put a blow dryer in my mouth.
Yeah,
And then I had to take it was like the hands, the top, the head, and the feet, and the bottom half was big. You know?
Yeah.
So they would take that off for me to breathe, and I was like Humpty Dumpty. Corey had to hold me up.
Yeah.
I don't want to take the bottom off, commit to that, you know?
right.
All right. So, not only have you iconicized a famous figure in Star Wars, but I hear that you're a musician.
Yes.
So, can you tell me a little bit about your music career? Through the years, going into, how you got into Star Wars. But obviously, you have the tattoo here of a Gamorrean
Yeah.
guard playing the guitar. So,
More in sound.
yeah. So,
my
I
flavor.
got to know a little bit of your story and
Whoa.
being a musician.
I've always played music, and Corey and I had a great band called Atmosphere back then, and then I went on, even though I was a big hip-hop fan, I wanted to play with Crazy Town, Gift of Game, some songs, and Black Eyed Peas and New Edition come back. And
Yeah.
because Brett Mazer, who started Crazy Town, he was working at Scotty Brothers then, and he worked with Bell Biv DeVoe back then and New Edition, but then they all kind of went their own way.
Well, no way, yeah.
And so we worked on a lot of that stuff. The New Edition comeback never came out, but I'd play guitar on a lot of that stuff. And then the one thing I did for New Edition that didn't come out, Mary J did a cover. She did that song, and a few people had done this. You Don't Have to Worry, but it never got released because New Edition broke up by then again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that guitar I did on there, Brett loved it so much, and I have the recording of that. But then he took the guitar and we put it on Revolving Door on Crazy Town. So it all let
Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So the guitar lives in two different worlds.
That is cool.
And then Billy Worth from Lost Boys, we had a band called the Cronies for many years. And then my CD just came out a few years ago. I worked with Stevie Wonder's producer, Robert Margouleff. And actually, Malcolm Cecil and Robert Margouleff designed the biggest sequencer in the world, and Stevie Wonder got hold of that. And they wanted to produce every album with Stevie Wonder.
That is.
Now,
Wow.
years later, Margouleff produced my stuff. Now I'm able to make records at home, which is amazing.
You can make a record on this thing right
Mix
here.
it, well, not that close, but I can mix and master records at home now.
It's so crazy that the world of music has gone from huge studios. Like Jim was talking earlier about how back in the day when you recorded something, you had to record 2 mixes, one for the radio and one for like the album. It's just crazy how it's gone from things like that down to just, and that you could put multiple tracks of a guitar on different albums.
Well, the radio wanted under 3 minutes.
Right.
But then in progressive rock, I remember Led Zeppelin days, yes. Peter Frampton live. Do You Feel was like a 9-minute song, and they would cut it down maybe to 6. So in those days, they got away with that kind of format on FM. But yeah, now it's just all cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no journey. How'd you made that music, but what was
Yeah.
the experience to go with it?
No.
So it's hard. you
Yeah.
know.
So tell me a little bit about your martial arts
I
background.
was just at the time.
I was just about to ask that.
I met Hugh Van Putten. I got a job selling office supplies, and that's how I met him. And then he said, "Oh, I have a martial arts class and an acting class. You want to be part of it?" Because we became friends. I said, "Sure." So we'd work selling office supplies in the day, and he trained us at night. But he was a badass at night. I mean,
How far did you get?
I got my ass butt. You know, I didn't get no belts. It was just
Oh,
he
it was
said you
just-
fight because he was a covert. There's the Corey and I used to say he leaves and then he comes back, but beautiful smile, glowing with optimism. But he would leave and it was a dark side, you know.
Yeah.
Right,
Because he was a
right.
bodyguard, but he would train us. I mean, incredible. It was incredible training.
That's
And
insane.
then the acting class he'd have after that, and Billy D came one time before I met Corey. And I knew kind of Stanislavski and some of the methods, and I had to play a mafia hitman, so I used a shark, you know.
Right.
And Billy watched. I was nervous. I'm not really an actor. And Billy said, "I like what you did." So I was walking on cloud 9 after that.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
And then I meet Corey, and the rest
the rest is
leads to
history.
this. You know.
That's
So
nuts.
Do you have any kind of social media or anything that people could follow?
Oh, yeah. My music's SteveCostantino.org is my site.
Okay.
Okay.
You can get my music on there, the SoundCloud, my EP and all
Yeah.
is on
Okay.
there. And I got a new record coming out soon.
Is that going to be on
Oh.
like iTunes, Amazon?
It's stuff now.
Spotify,
My
and-
EP's on iTunes and all of
Okay.
that. But SoundCloud, I think it's WAV file, so you don't have to commit to an MP3, which I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah.
But in those
Yeah,
formats,
no,
you have
I
to.
get it. Wave's more raw.
Yeah.
I get it.
But digital, like you're saying, digital and analog have finally caught up.
It's crazy what they can do with music these days.
Well, they
man.
emulate tape. We like tape. And it's oxide, but
Mhm.
in
Hey
digital.
man, we're the tape era. I was one of those who was very rare who liked the hiss and tapes.
Yeah.
We
Like in
still
a
use
song?
that.
Yeah.
We put that back in digitally. The difference now is I look at when digital came out, we had so much. Oh God, it was just infinite, and we overdo everything.
Yeah.
I had 73 tracks, and now what happens because the equipment they're working on latency problems, like in Universal Audio.
Right.
So now the new system, Luna or Pro Tools, there's no latency. But what you do, you go through a tape machine as if you're in the studio all over again.
Oh.
And now it's all integrated, so there's no latency.
Yeah.
And it sounds like tape. I
Yeah.
mean, it's pretty, because I have some of the best engineers, my partners that work with Weather Report in Chicago, and they have some of the best ears. I always try to have better people around me.
Right. Oh, me too.
And we defy to say it sounds like tape again. And it's
Yeah.
not. It's like hard to. It took a few years, but now it's caught up.
Oh, man. Well, everyone out there that's watching, we're with Steve Costantino. You can follow him at stevecostantino.org. You
Get
can
all his
find
music
his music on iTunes and other
iTunes, Apple,
Apple, yeah,
SoundCloud,
SoundCloud.
Spotify.
For all the sci-fi people out there, this is the iconic Gamorrean Guard in Return of the Jedi. If you have a Gamorrean Guard, bring it
Yes.
down, get it signed by
Get it
Steve
signed.
Costantino. He'll be
Yes.
here all weekend. If you don't have one, there is a
There will be
huge
one here you
ballroom
can
in
pur-
there
you can
that we have
purchase.
seen Gamorrean Guards. Buy one, come to his table, get it signed. Get a little story from him. He's a very, very interesting guy. He's got a great story
Thank you.
to tell.
Yes.
Steve, thank you so much for joining
Thank you
us.
guys. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
And
it.
everybody out here, this is ICCC, and we are ECP coming at you. Have a great weekend.
Have a
Thank
good
you
one.
guys.
Thank you.